Hi, welcome to this week's Wildflower 411 broadcast. Today I want to share with you my huge collection of wildflower books. As of today, they number 93 in total. Yes, 93. I have children's wildflower books. I have books on crafts. I have the folklore of wildflowers. I have botanical, scientific kind of books. I have pictorials and art books. But mostly I have wildflower identification books. They're all North American, mostly Californian. I don't really collect San Diego or Bay Area books because I simply just don't travel in those areas. So it's mostly Southern California, the deserts, and the Sierra Nevada mountains that I have. I rarely go on to Amazon and Barnes & Noble's websites to scour their list for the current wildflower books, and I think I can say with pretty good confidence that I've cornered the market on everything for Southern California. I have a small wish list. On it is like the Jepson Manual, which is the botanical Bible of wildflower hunters. That's a little bit out of my price range and a little above my, it's a little scientific for me. So I haven't purchased that yet. And then there's some small papers that people have published themselves on different small areas of Southern California that are on my wish list. But no other books. I've cornered the market. What makes a good wildflower book? Well, first of all, I like photography better than drawings. It makes identification much easier. I like it when the photography shows the whole plant and then a close-up of the flower. And you want a book that's going to show a wide variety of the flowers, the families that are in your area. Because once you can at least identify the family that your flower is in, then you can avail yourself of other tools like the internet to really nail down the genus and species of that flower. I used to use as a criteria for whether it was a good wildflower book was I'd open it up to the baby blue eyes page, and if the photography and description was good of that flower, then I felt I could trust the rest of the photography and descriptions in the book. These days though, I'll buy any book, good or bad, because I like adding to my collection. What makes a bad wildflower book? One that's poorly organized, one that has poor photography, one that has out-and-out mistakes, which I've definitely found, and one that's way too general. I'll probably overuse the word favorite in this webcast because, frankly, they're all my favorites. They're all my babies. So let me show you a couple of them. First I want to show you is my first wildflower book that my mother purchased when I was 10 years old. So I've been looking at wildflowers for a long time. It's called Yosemite Wildflower Trails, and my mother passed down her love of flowers to me, so it's a very sentimental book to me. My first purchased wildflower book is the Audubon North American Identification book, which is a very good field book. I don't use it too much these days because I like specific, whether it's Southern California or desert, but I recommend it as a very good starter book. My favorite, just in general and artistically, is my huge Flora of Yosemite book that my family bought me one year when we were in Yosemite near my birthday month. And so they bought it for me as a gift because it was very expensive. And this has fantastic art in it, and it covers every flowering plant in Yosemite, and I just treasure this book. Now, I have a favorite wildflower author, Laird Blackwell, who I actually got to meet way back in 2007 up in Tahoe. I was so thrilled to get his autograph that I laminated it and stuck it up here for everyone to see. He's my favorite wildflower author because I feel like we're kindred spirits, that we both can find the meaning of life in a wildflower, and I love how he writes about them. Plus his photography and his descriptions are very good, so I have every book that he has written. I have a sentimental favorite. It's an 85-year-old book on wildflowers. This was published before they knew how to publish or could afford to publish color photography in books. So the drawings are fantastic. The writing and description is terrific. It's full of wildflower poetry. I just love it. Before the internet, and you could find books like this from your home, I used to go to the libraries, and there was a copy of this book at our local Riverside library. And I just loved it because in the margins somebody had written where they found certain flowers and how they found them. And I would romantically dream of somebody 85 years ago scouring through early California and finding their books. And I loved the book so much that I actually considered stealing it from the library once, or maybe telling them I lost it and paying for it. That's how much I wanted the book. But I didn't want the bad karma, so I didn't. And then last year, it occurred to me to look on Amazon.com, and I found my own copy. No writing in the margins, but 85 years old, and I just treasure it. And then I like books when when the author puts in a little attitude into their writing. There's yellow daisies are called composite flowers, and there's so many of them that they're hard to nail down what exact genus and species they are. And I like this author. He says, try your hardest to nail down that genus and species, but after a while, if you can't, you just call it a damn yellow composite, a DYC. And I thought that was a good attitude. And again, I showed you this book in my first webcast where they say if you don't know how to pronounce a wildflower, just pronounce it any way you think and say it with confidence, and people will buy it anyways. So I like it when they insert a little attitude into my wildflower books. Well, that's it for my collection. I think I'm going to write my own book one of these days, and that'll be number 94 up there. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week.